Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are doing well. My name is Daffa Praditya Devano Ramadan, or you can call me Daffa for short. I'm currently attending sixth semester as an English literature student at University of Minnesota Informatica from Tungkarang branch. And now I'm about to explain about the constituency, which is one of the midterm projects under the subject of syntax. So I would like to discover number of things that you have to know about the constituency within the syntax subject. So next one, we're going to step further to the next slide. So there are three lessons objectives here, and here are the topics that we will discover as it follows. The first one is linear order of constituent. The second one is hierarchical order of constituent. And then the last one is about structural ambiguity. Next, so before we're going to jump into the linear order of constituent, we have to know what is the definitions of constituent itself. So constituents are the units of language that work together to build a sentence. They can be morphemes, phrases, clauses, and the vital constituents within the sentence are subject and its predicate. A subject who is who or what the sentence is about, and a predicate is a part of a sentence that adds detail or informations to the subject, and they usually contain a verb. For example, the man with the old brown shoes is the manager. So, for instance, we can uh, we can see visibly that we see two constituents. The first is the subject, which is the man with the old brown shoes, and its predicate is the manager. Okay, next. So, linear order of constituent. What is linear order of constituent? So, it's basically task of constituency are basic components of syntactician's toolbox. By investigating which strings of words can and cannot be moved, deleted, or coordinated, or stand in convergence relation. So there are two questions raised just by these definitions. The first is, why do different structural diagnostic identify contrasting and sometimes overlapping constituents? And then the second question is, when do uh, pairs of structural diagnostic interact, and when do they operate independently one of another? So for the first question and the first answer is that simply the explanation is that incremental building of conventional syntactic structures leads to change in constituency over the course of derivations. Therefore, different constituents are feasible to different syntactic processes according to when each process applies. And for second questions, the answer is that syntactic processes only interact when they apply at overlapping stages of an incremental derivation. Next one, we're gonna talk about the further elaborations of linear order of constituents. So this is a part two. And I would like to, provide you with the further explanations that makes you have a comprehensive understandings about linear order of constituent. So basically, apart from the previous definition that I have been stated, linear order of constituents are the form to construct an order sentence while followed by elements in some order. So, sentences sometimes are thus expressed with an ordered sequence of words, and this applies to ordered clauses and sentences every language, either you are speaking English or Spanish, Italian, Arabic, even in Bahasa Indonesia. So this, each sentence have to be in our order. So there will be no multi meanings in this within the sentence. So it's necessary for us to keep that sequential order. And for example, here are the examples. And guess which is the right which one is the right one. So I saw at the bridge yesterday, the ghost saw me at the bridge yesterday, and the bridge yesterday saw the ghost and me. So based on this example, we can confirm that the right one is the first sentence because it's basically logically sense, and also it could be understand by even by just looking at this one sentences like instantly compared to other sentences like the ghost saw me at the bridge yesterday, the bridge yesterday saw the ghost and me, it's not logically makes sense because of basically we are thinking logically. So when we saw these sentences, then there will be a questions like questioning us whether this sentence is true or not, or even if it's still in a logical way or not. So, for example, the explanation of the sentence number two is that the ghost saw me at the bridge yesterday. So logically, when we see the sentences, then we will start to question is does the ghost really saw human? Like really, is that logically make sense? Like how can we know? Like how can we ensure that the ghost is really seeing us or me or humans in general at the bridge yesterday? So it's a question, and of course we cannot answer that logically. So and then for the third one, of course, the bridge yesterday saw the ghost and me. So we know that bridge is is a structure, it cannot be moved, and after it's being constructed, then it cannot be moved, and the bridge is just staying there doing nothing. So logically, we cannot feel the sense of this logical order. So that's why learning constituents means that we are shaping our minds, we are shaping our critical thinking to be in a more logical order. So we are, basically training our brain to be able to critically thinking and also logically make sense in making our reason in making sentences and also doing something in our life. Next one is the hierarchical order of constituent. So in grammar, hierarchy refers to any ordering of units or levels on a scale of size, abstractions, or subordinations. The hierarchy of units from smallest to largest is conventionally identified as follows. The first is phoneme, morpheme, word, phrase, clause, sentence, and text. So based on this statement, we can know that other than constituent is also making us could feel the sense of logically thinking, but also we could we could observe, we could identify that it contains hierarchical context where from this hierarchy we can have a better understandings about what is hierarchical order and what we're supposed to do on each level of hierarchy that exists. For example, of these sentences in syntax subject, the women were wearing white clothes. So this can be divided into two parts, subject and predicate, of course, obviously, and in each of which there is a main part and a subordinate part. So the subject consists of noun phrases or NP, the woman, in which a noun, woman, is the head, and a determiner, the is a modifier. The predicate has as its head a verb phrase or VP, which is the word wearing, which governs a noun phrase white clothes as its object. The verb phrase has a main verb wear plus ing and as its head and an auxiliary were, which is were, as a subordinate part, while the noun phrase has as its head a noun or clothes, which is clothes, and an adjective, which is white as a modifier. So I would like to expanding more, broader context on this part, but it will be on the end of the presentation. So the next one is about structural ambiguity. So this occurs when a phrase or a sentence has more than one underlying structure. For example, the professor said on Monday he would give an exam. So this is still not an obvious statement because this statement means either that it was on Monday that the professor told the class about the exam or that the exam would be given on Monday. So we don't really know like what is the right one, except we add an adverb at the end of the sentence, at the end of the sentence. For example, the professor said on Monday he would give an exam on the give an exam to be exact on the next week or how the last week. So this sentence is still an ambiguity ambig sentence, so we have to clarify something. Then the chicken is ready to eat. So this sentence either means the chicken is cooked and can be eaten now, or the chicken is ready to be fed. Because we didn't really know, so there must be an additional sentence to give a clarify on these sentences, just like as the previous sentence that I have been extend to you. So the next one is about the thing that I would like to give to you. So this is still related to the hierarchical constituent, where there are five examples of this. So there are five sentences which have their own hierarchical place. The first sentence is Aldi went to the cinema last week. The second sentence is the faster runner won a gold medal at the Olympic. And then the third sentence is the old and big tree swayed in the hurricane. And the fourth one is the youngest sisters put the doll in the purse. And then the last sentence is the big girl saw Eliza with a lovable panda recently. So as you can see here, there are the hierarchical constituent, and they have been placed based on their hierarchy places, hierarchy rank, such as like Aldi went to the cinema last week. There are NP and VP. And for the Aldi itself, it represents the noun. When itself is represents the verb. And two is represents the prepositions. And then it represents the determiner. And then for the cinema it represents noun, and then the last week represents adjective. And then second diagram that I have been putting here is the faster runner won a gold medal at the Olympic. So basically, the is the determiner. Noun is the fastest, verb is the runner, adjective is one, a is a preposition, and then there is a noun for gold medal, and then preposition for at, and determiner for the, and then the adjective and the adverb for the Olympic. And then the third diagram is the old and big tree swayed in the hurricane. And of course, for the they itself is determiner, old is a noun, and is a conjunction, big is an adjective, tree is a noun, and then swayed is a verb, and then uh In is the prepositions, and then determine, and the is the determinant again, and then the hurricane is the adverb. And for the fourth diagram here, there are two, of course, non-praise and verb phrases. And for the is represents determiner, youngest is represents adjective, sisters is represents noun, and then put is represents verbs, and then the again is represents determiner, dull is represents noun, in is represents preposition, the is the preposition determinant again, and purse is represents noun. And then for the last but not least is the sentence of the baker saw Eliza with a lovable panda recently. And of course, the is stands for determiner, a big is represents adjective, girl is represents noun, and then saw is represents verb, and then um, Eliza is represents noun, and also for the with a, it represents prepositions, and then lovable represents adjective, and panis represents noun, and then last but not least is recently it represents adverb. So I think that has been covered all of the topics that we would love to discuss today. So it has been a comprehensive discussions with you all guys. And also, I hope you could understand better about the role of syntax in our life and how constituent could contribute that much to our life, especially in making ourselves to be able to logically order in thinking, and also to be able to enhancing and improving our critical thinking towards not only the language or not only to the sentence, but also to the social context that we have daily on the in the our in our neighborhood, in our environment. So I think that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it could enhance your knowledge and also understandings about the syntax, and especially for the constituent. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.